Story number 1. In the dense labyrinth of underground tunnels that make up New York City's subway system, many eerie tales have echoed through its hollow, reverberating chambers. In January 2003, a series of paranormal encounters unfolded that would send shivers down the spine of even the most seasoned subway workers. The following account, corroborated by numerous witnesses and investigations, sheds light on the haunted depths of the subterranean realm. Night shift workers, tending to their duties in the dim-lit stations and passages, were the first to report unusual occurrences. The tale begins with Janine Harper, a dedicated subway employee stationed at the desolate Bowling Green stop. On the night of January 11th, Janine experienced a mysterious and chilling interaction. While conducting her usual platform inspection, she heard soft, distant murmurs echoing through the silent tunnels. Intrigued, Janine followed the whispers until she found herself before a mysterious, translucent figure, donning the attire of a 1930s commuter. The figure, seemingly unaware of Janine's presence, proceeded to interact with unseen entities, narrating tales of unfulfilled dreams and eternal waiting. The air around was ice cold and carried a fragrance of a bygone era, a mix of smoke and old cologne. Janine, paralyzed by fear and fascination, watched until the first rays of dawn dissolved the apparition. This unsettling encounter prompted investigations by local paranormal investigators. The leading investigator, Dr. Elliot Baines, dived into the historical records of the subway system and discovered a tragic event dated back to 1935. A train derailment had occurred near the Bowling Green stop, resulting in numerous fatalities. Dr. Baines theorized that the spirits of the perished were tethered to the location, reliving their final moments in an eternal loop. The Bowling Green encounter was only the precursor to a series of sinister incidents that soon enveloped the subway system. Workers reported glimpses of shadowy figures darting between the trains, eerie laughter emanating from empty cars, and sudden, unexplainable temperature drops. Disturbingly, these phenomena seemed to intensify as the nights progressed, reaching a crescendo on January 27, 2003. This night is notoriously remembered by the subway night shift workers as the Phantom Train incident. Multiple workers reported seeing an archaic train, shrouded in a faint ethereal glow, pulling into the stations and vanishing without a trace. The apparitional train bore the scars and damages indicative of the 1935 derailment. John Harkness, another subway worker, had the most bone-chilling encounter on this fateful night. John reported being on an abandoned platform when the ghostly train screeched to a halt before him. The doors opened to reveal a multitude of spectral figures, their faces twisted in perpetual torment. A chilling silence ensued before the spirits unleashed a wail of collective agony, a sound so harrowing that it left John traumatized for weeks. The terrifying surge of paranormal activity resulted in an urgent investigation, summoning renowned paranormal experts and historians. They unearthed a multitude of heartbreaking stories intertwined with the tragic 1935 incident, each spirit seemingly chained to their unrelenting anguish. Specialized spiritual mediums conducted a series of seances, attempting to communicate with the lingering spirits. The sessions were harrowing, filled with sorrowful confessions and pleas for liberation. The paranormal team, coupled with spiritual healers, worked tirelessly to aid the tormented spirits in their transition to the afterlife. The intensive spiritual interventions resulted in a noticeable decline in paranormal occurrences. The spectral train and its doomed passengers were no longer the perpetual nocturnal companions of the subway workers. However, the haunted echoes of the past still whisper through the labyrinthine tunnels, serving as a grim reminder of the sorrowful souls that once roamed the shadowed rails. The accounts provided by the night shift subway workers, complemented by the extensive investigations and historical research, have cemented the Phantom Train incident and its preluding occurrences as some of the most authentic and chilling real-life ghost stories in the annals of paranormal chronicles. The unseen residents of the underground still murmur their tales to those who traverse the gloomy depths, enveloping them in the ever-present shadows of the haunted past. Story number 2. Blackwood Station, a seemingly ordinary subway station located on the outskirts of Chicago, has been a focal point for ghost hunters and paranormal enthusiasts since March 2007. The experiences of the night shift workers during this time are compiled meticulously through eyewitness accounts, investigative reports, and historical data, painting a haunting picture of the unseen horrors lurking within the shadowy tunnels. The first account originated from a night shift worker, Leonard Mitchell, on March 5, 2007. Leonard, while conducting routine checks around the dimly lit platforms, began to notice strange, disembodied whispers pervading the air, accompanied by inexplicable gusts of cold wind. The faint murmurs seemed to echo tales of unfulfilled desires and deep-seated regrets, sending shivers down his spine. Soon after Leonard's encounter, more workers reported observing mysterious, fog-like apparitions around the platforms and tunnels, along with sudden temperature drops and malfunctioning equipment. The most disconcerting were the stories of unseen hands brushing against them and unseen entities breathing down their necks in the deserted passageways. Given the growing unease and the multitude of eerie occurrences, a team of paranormal investigators, led by Dr. Rebecca Hale, was summoned to delve into the mysteries surrounding Blackwood Station. Dr. Hale uncovered a grisly historical fact related to the station. Blackwood Station was constructed upon the grounds of a long-abandoned psychiatric facility, known for its inhumane treatment of patients during the early 1900s. The sinister history sparked theories of restless spirits haunting the underground labyrinth, seeking solace and retribution. The pinnacle of paranormal activity occurred on March 20, 2007, an episode referred to as the Night of Unearthly Screams. Night shift workers, now accustomed to the ghostly apparitions, found themselves amidst a symphony of wailing spirits, their screams echoing through the walls, enveloping the entire station in a cacophony of agony and sorrow. The air turned frigid, and the shadows seemed to dance, forming spectral figures of men and women, their faces contorted in perpetual pain. Samantha Green, one of the workers present that night, reported a particularly heart-wrenching encounter with a weeping child apparition, who spoke of darkness and eternal solitude. The apparition held out her hand, reaching for Samantha, only to dissipate into a mist, leaving behind a lingering sense of loss and despair. The extensive investigations by Dr. Hale and her team unearthed harrowing details of the patient's sufferings and untimely deaths within the asylum. Desperate to alleviate the spirit's torments, the investigators, along with a group of experienced spiritualists, orchestrated a series of rituals and seances aimed at offering peace to the restless entities. The seances were fraught with emotional turmoil as the spirits conveyed their traumatic experiences and beseeched release from their eternal confinement. The spiritualists worked assiduously, performing rites of passage, and implored the entities to embrace tranquility and leave the realm of the living. The fervent interventions yielded a gradual yet substantial reduction in the unearthly phenomena plaguing Blackwood Station. The spectral whispers ceased, the shadows returned to their dormant state, and an eerie silence replaced the anguished wails. The air of gloom and torment lifted, leaving behind only the echoes of the tragic past. Blackwood Station, while relieved of its otherworldly inhabitants, remains a symbol of anguish and redemption, its dark corridors whispering the tales of its spectral residents. The experiences of the night shift workers and the subsequent investigations have given a voice to the silenced spirits, imprinting their stories in the annals of paranormal lore. The haunting memories still linger in the minds of those who witnessed the unseen inhabitants of Blackwood Station, the whispers in the darkness serving as a constant reminder of the pain that once permeated the cold, desolate tunnels of the underground realm. Story number 3. Within the underground mesh of London's Aldgate subway station lie the remnants of a gruesome past, concealed by the shadows of the catacombs. The story that unfolds is built upon the haunted experiences of night shift workers, the unsettling facts uncovered through investigations, and the chilling historical discoveries dating back to the 19th century. The ordeal commenced on February 17, 2012, with subway worker Oliver Thompson reporting strange, ghostly shadows within the Aldgate tunnels. These shadows, seemingly sentient, whispered fragmented lamentations and materialized into phantom figures draped in Victorian attire, their eyes hollow voids echoing with silent screams. Subsequent to Oliver's revelation, a series of haunting incidents besieged the night shift crew, including disappearing objects, footsteps resonating in deserted tunnels, and shadowy apparitions clutching at the air with their spectral fingers. The station turned into a nexus for the supernatural, etched with the unseen torments of its ghostly inhabitants. In light of the unnerving phenomena, a renowned paranormal researcher, Professor Arthur Williams, delved into the murky history of the Aldgate area. His research unveiled the macabre truth that the subway tunnels intersected with a series of forgotten plague pits, the final resting place for countless victims of the bubonic plague of 1665. The unfortunate souls interred within these mass graves were now speculated to be the spectral entities haunting the tunnels, their spirits tangled in eternal anguish. The climax of the spectral disturbances transpired on February 29, 2012, marked as the Night of the Wailing Shadows. The subway workers were encapsulated in a spectral storm, the air pulsating with the collective wails of plague victims, their apparitions swirling in the darkness, lamenting their untimely demise and the abandonment of their resting places. Margaret Doyle, one of the subway workers, recounted a harrowing interaction with a ghostly young woman, her visage marred by the signs of the plague. The apparition conveyed her torment through ghastly whispers, speaking of endless suffering and unrelenting darkness, leaving Margaret in a state of sorrowful dread. Professor Williams, armed with the newfound historical knowledge and joined by a team of spiritual mediums, embarked on a daunting mission to appease the restless spirits. The ensuing spiritual sessions were filled with tumultuous energy as the spirits relayed their tortured existences, their voices intertwining in a symphony of sorrow. Intensive rituals were conducted, with the mediums imploring the restless spirits to relinquish their hold on the earthly realm and transcend into the light. The air within the catacombs vibrated with ethereal energy, the spirits grappling with their centuries-long pain before gradually fading into the shadows, their whispers dissolving into the silent echoes of the tunnels. The profound spiritual interventions lead to a palpable tranquility within Aldgate subway station. The shadows retreated to their benign existence, and the sorrowful echoes were silenced, leaving the tunnels to bear the silent weight of their cursed history. Aldgate Station, now free from its spectral infestations, continues to serve as a somber monument to its ghostly inhabitants, their stories woven into the very fabric of its structure. The detailed investigations, corroborated by eyewitness accounts and historical evidence, have contributed to an enduring legacy of the plagued spirits of Aldgate, eternally etched into the annals of the paranormal. The subway workers, forever marked by their ethereal encounters, traverse the now quiet tunnels, accompanied by the remnants of the haunting whispers, the phantom echoes serving as eternal reminders of the untold stories and unsung lamentations of the Aldgate catacombs. Story number 4. Belworth Station, submerged in the hidden depths beneath Boston's bustling streets, became a nexus of spectral disturbances and unexplained occurrences in the winter of 2015. The uncanny experiences of the night shift subway workers are painstakingly chronicled through thorough investigations, corroborated accounts, and detailed examinations of the historical layers interwoven within the station's foundations. The initial brushes with the paranormal were reported on December 12, 2015, by a subway worker, Richard Everton. During his nocturnal rounds, he began experiencing sudden cold spots, fluctuating lights, and indistinct murmurs resonating through the empty platforms. The disembodied voices whispered tales of sorrow, remorse, and eternal solitude, encasing the station in an eerie ambience. In the subsequent days, more subway workers stepped forward with their encounters, describing visions of ghostly figures clad in tattered garments, their faces veiled in shadows, lingering in the periphery of their vision. The apparitions seemed to reenact tragic scenes, their silent screams piercing the air, only to vanish, leaving a palpable sense of despair. Haunted by the unnerving events, the subway authorities sought the expertise of paranormal investigator Dr. Lucy Holloway. Dr. Holloway's meticulous research unveiled the somber history of Belworth Station. The station was erected atop the ruins of an old penitentiary known for its abysmal conditions and high inmate mortality during the late 1800s. The theory emerged that the restless spirits of the incarcerated were anchored to their place of torment, enshrouded in an eternal dance of despair. The haunting crescendoed on December 28, 2015, a night indelibly marked as the Veil of Shadows encounter. The subway workers found themselves amidst the myriad of tormented spirits, the air vibrating with their silent cries and the clanking of ethereal chains. The phantoms congregated in the center of the platform, their shadows intertwining in a sinister ballet, their hollow eyes filled with centuries-old torment. Amelia Sanford, one of the subway workers on duty, reported being transfixed by a particular apparition, a man, his visage marred by the scars of his imprisonment, whispering of betrayal and unfulfilled redemption. His ephemeral hand reached out to touch Amelia's, a cold, sorrowful connection that left her shrouded in a cloak of lingering grief. To confront the haunting symphony of shadows, Dr. Holloway assembled a team of skilled mediums and historians, embarking on a quest to uncover the untold stories of the penitentiary's former inhabitants. The spiritual sessions conducted were emotionally charged, with the spirits conveying their unresolved pain, longing for salvation and release from their spectral chains. With a mix of spiritual communication, historical acknowledgement, and ritualistic interventions, the team worked to sever the ethereal chains binding the spirits to Belworth Station. The air within the station fluctuated with spectral energy as the entities, one by one, embraced the liberation offered, their forms dissolving into shimmering wisps of light, leaving behind a heavy silence. The post-intervention period saw a significant recession in the paranormal activities at Belworth Station. The shadows retreated to their dormant existence, and the oppressive air of sorrow lightened, granting the station a semblance of normalcy. The haunting tapestry of Belworth Station has been immortalized in the annals of paranormal history, a testament to the enduring agony and the sought redemption of its spectral dwellers. The silent horrors experienced by the night shift workers and the detailed elucidation by Dr. Holloway and her team have given a voice to the silent shadows of Belworth, allowing their echoes to resonate through the boundless abyss of the supernatural. The residue of the spectral encounters continues to linger in the minds of the subway workers, the echoes from the abyss reverberating in the silent corners of Belworth Station, whispering the untold narratives of the forsaken spirits enshrouded within its walls. Story number 5. The historic subway network of Renfield Line, running beneath the city of Philadelphia, became a cauldron of paranormal disturbances during the bleak winter month of January 2010. The nocturnal experiences of the subway night shift workers, bound in a fabric of dread and despair, are meticulously documented through in-depth investigations, personal accounts, and an exploration of the enigmatic history buried beneath the city's foundations. It all began on January 6, 2010, when Jacob Harper, a diligent subway worker, reported witnessing translucent figures flitting through the tunnels, whispering in hushed tones of sorrow and remorse. The spectral whispers, ever so haunting, recounted tales of unspeakable tragedies and timeless agony, shrouding the station in an aura of unrelenting melancholy. Following Jacob's revelations, a wave of supernatural occurrences swept through the Renfield line. Workers spoke of chilling encounters with apparitions, inexplicable equipment malfunctions, and hauntingly synchronized whispers filling the empty platforms. The apparitional entities seemed to hover between realms, their silent wails echoing in the forbidden shadows. Determined to unravel the mysteries, paranormal investigator Dr. Eleanor Ray commenced an exhaustive inquiry into Renfield Line's obscured past. Her research unearthed the chilling reality that Renfield Line was constructed over a forgotten graveyard from the 1700s, where victims of a mysterious, devastating epidemic were interred in unmarked graves, their existences erased from historical consciousness. The apotheosis of the haunting phenomena manifested on January 22, 2010, an event that would be infamously remembered as the Night of the Weeping Specters. The night shift workers found themselves amidst an ethereal assembly, the air pulsating with the silent cries and lamentations of the forgotten dead, their ghostly visages marked with the scars of their untold suffering. An eyewitness, Laura Benson, reported a gut-wrenching interaction with a spectral woman, her visage marred by disease and sorrow. The spirit spoke of darkness and eternal solitude, her spectral tears a testament to her endless torment, leaving Laura enveloped in a shroud of residual grief. In an attempt to pacify the restless spirits, Dr. Ray, accompanied by a team of psychic mediums and historians, initiated a series of seances and spiritual communions. The interactions were permeated with a profound sense of anguish as the spirits conveyed their forsaken tales, their spectral voices intertwined in a haunting requiem of loss. Through relentless spiritual outreach and acknowledgement of the buried tragedies, the team strived to guide the tormented spirits towards eternal peace. The spectral entities, their stories finally acknowledged, gradually dissipated into the ether, their whispers fading into the haunting silence of the Renfield Line. The aftermath of the spiritual interventions marked a return to tranquility within the Renfield Line, the whispers silenced and the shadows confined to their benign existence. The relentless air of sorrow lifted, granting solace to both the living and the departed. The silent echoes of the Renfield Line serve as a haunting reminder of the spectral tragedies eternally embedded in its foundations. The relentless pursuit of the truth by Dr. Ray and the brave recounting by the night shift workers have allowed the silent echoes of the forgotten dead to resonate through the annals of paranormal history. The remnants of the haunting encounters linger within the walls of Renfield Line, the silent echoes whispering the unspoken stories and unshed tears of the spectral entities bound within its confines, serving as eternal reminders of the hidden tragedies lurking beneath our very feet. Story number 6. The renowned Redmont Underground in Seattle became a spectral epicenter of paranormal turbulence during the autumn of 2017. The tales of terror experienced by the night shift subway workers are chronicled meticulously, accompanied by extensive investigations, corroborated facts, and detailed excavations of the shrouded history intertwined with the tunnels beneath the bustling city. The inception of paranormal disturbances was documented on October 10, 2017, when subway worker George Mason reported anomalous occurrences including untraceable footsteps, otherworldly murmurs, and transient shadows lurking in the peripheries of his vision. These shadows whispered fragments of anguish and eternal torment, enveloping the station in a vortex of supernatural disquiet. Subsequent to George's disclosure, the entire night crew became marooned in a sea of spectral interactions. Reports of ethereal figures, timeless echoes, and ephemeral apparitions began to surge, creating an ambience of enduring dread within the subterranean labyrinth of Redmont Underground. To dissect the enigma of Redmont's spectral infestations, paranormal investigator Clara Simmons delved into the catacombs of history associated with the region. Her revelations were chilling. Redmont Underground was erected upon the remnants of a former asylum, notorious for its inhumane treatments and the mysterious disappearance of its inmates during the late 1800s. The zenith of spectral interactions occurred on October 23, 2017, eternally commemorated as the Hour of Whispers. The workers were plunged into a cacophony of ghostly murmurs, the air quivering with the pain of the unremembered, their spectral forms eternally reenacting their moments of demise and despair. Robert Wells, a member of the night crew, narrated his harrowing interaction with a spectral child, his visage frozen in a perpetual scream, whispering tales of abandonment and unending solitude. This heart-wrenching encounter left Robert imbued with an irreversible imprint of sorrow and loss. Determined to unveil the layered mysteries of the haunted tunnels, Clara Simmons, assisted by a cadre of psychic mediums and historians, embarked on a series of spiritual communications and meticulous research. The air within the tunnels was permeated with a symphony of sorrow as the spirits recited their haunting litanies of pain and betrayal. Through fervent spiritual dialogues and acknowledgement of the concealed horrors of the asylum, the team endeavored to bring solace to the trapped spirits. The air vibrated with ethereal energies as the spirits gradually embraced transcendence, their ethereal whispers fading into the silence of the eternal night. The resonating silence post-intervention signaled the retreat of the supernatural forces within Redmont Underground, with the shadows receding into the forgotten corners and the haunting whispers silenced, bringing a semblance of serenity back to the station. Redmont Underground's spectral saga remains engraved in the realms of paranormal lore, a silent symphony of the forgotten echoing through the tunnels of history. The relentless pursuit of truth by Clara Simmons and the night crew's unflinching confrontation with the unseen have allowed the forgotten shadows to find their place in the historical consciousness. The corridors of Redmont Underground continue to echo with the silent remnants of its haunted past, the unseen inhabitants whispering their untold stories, serving as spectral reminders of the shadowy secrets entombed within its ancient walls. Story number 7. In the looming shadows beneath Chicago's pulsating life, the Sable subway has emerged as a spectral realm teeming with paranormal anomalies, especially in the chilling winter months of 2018. The myriad experiences of the night shift workers resonate with a symphony of horror, meticulously documented through rigorous investigations, verifiable accounts, and exploration of the historical remnants concealed beneath the modern metropolis. The first whisperings of the paranormal infiltrated the air on January 14, 2018, when subway worker Oliver Knox experienced the chilling touch of unseen entities, intermittent whispers, and evanescent shadows depicting scenes of unutterable woe and timeless despair, thus shrouding the subway in a spectral pallor. Following Oliver's revelations, an array of spectral interactions ensnared the night crew. Incidences involving phantasmal apparitions, inexplicable cold drafts, and spectral lamentations began to escalate, solidifying the ethereal pall of dread within the labyrinth of Sable subway. Seeking clarity amidst the spectral chaos, paranormal investigator Dr. Sophia Turner embarked on a voyage through the hidden annals of Sable subway's legacy. Her inquiry exposed the grim reality. The subway intersected with the forgotten remnants of a 19th-century quarantine zone, wherein victims of a ravaging plague were isolated, their existences expunged from the living world. The apogee of paranormal manifestations unfolded on January 30, 2018, forever ingrained as the echoing shadows convergence. The workers were plunged into a tempest of mournful echoes, the tunnels resonating with the unfulfilled yearnings and agonizing whispers of the plagued spirits, their spectral presences recounting tales of forsaken lives, Lily Randall, one of the brave night shift workers, described her piercing encounter with a forlorn specter, her spectral visage imbued with eternal pain, muttering of neglect and never-ending solitude. This surreal confrontation left an indelible mark of sorrow on Lily's soul. In pursuit of unraveling the interlaced enigma, Dr. Turner, aided by a group of empathic mediums and researchers, initiated a sequence of spiritual communications and historical validations. The air, heavy with unseen presences, pulsated with the mournful symphonies of the departed, revealing their unhealed scars and veiled anguish. With relentless spiritual negotiations and acknowledgement of the buried torment, the team labored to offer eternal reprieve to the wandering souls. The ethereal reverberations intensified as the spirits embraced liberation, their spectral whispers dissolving into the encompassing silence. Post-intervention, Sable Subway experienced a reprieve from the supernatural turbulence, the phantasmal whispers attenuated and the shadowy presences relegated to the bygone realm, restoring a facade of normalcy within the haunted confines. The phantom maze of Sable Subway remains eternally imprinted in the esoteric tapestries of the supernatural, whispering the untold narratives of the forgotten. The unyielding resolve of Dr. Turner and the accounts of the night crew have woven the spectral echoes into the threads of eternal remembrance. The subterranean realms of Sable Subway persistently echo with the ethereal remnants of its haunted lineage, the spectral whispers recounting their unseen tales, a perpetual reminder of the buried tragedies that slumber beneath our ceaseless footsteps. Story number 8. The clandestine realms of Blakemore Subway, situated beneath the city of New Orleans, became the crux of unearthly disturbances in the spring of 2015. These harrowing occurrences, lived and retold by the resilient night shift workers, are entwined with precise investigations, historical delvings, and the unveiling of the sinister tapestry hidden beneath the city's cobbled streets. The inaugural manifestation was recorded on March 5, 2015, when Miranda Clark, a steadfast subway worker, recounted experiences with spectral figures lamenting in the shadows, their whispers emanating tales of betrayal and ceaseless wanderings, imprinting a perpetual unease within the subway's confines. Miranda's revelation was a prelude to a crescendo of spectral entanglements that ensnared the entire night shift team. The influx of chilling encounters with the intangible, disembodied voices, and unrelenting cold spots became the constant companions of the subway's nocturnal guardians. In a bid to unearth the labyrinthine mysteries, seasoned paranormal investigator, Dr. Walter Hughes, plunged into the veiled history interlaced with Blakemore Subway. His relentless pursuit led to the grim discovery that the subway lines crossed the remnants of forgotten battlefields, where countless souls met their untimely demise during the early 1800s. The pinnacle of unearthly occurrences transpired on March 20, 2015, immortalized as the Night of the Wandering Shadows. The subway workers found themselves amidst a spectral procession, the air resonating with the eternal agonies and resentful murmurings of fallen soldiers, their phantom forms eternally embroiled in their final moments of despair. A worker, Thomas Reagan, detailed his unnerving interaction with a fallen soldier, his phantom form riddled with unhealed wounds, recounting tales of lost comrades and unfulfilled vows, leaving Thomas saturated in the residual anguish of the spectral warrior. To pierce the veils of the unseen, Dr. Hughes, flanked by a consortium of spiritual communicators and historians, orchestrated a sequence of spiritual contacts and enlightening dialogues. The air throbbed with the unseen voices of the restless, unfolding the sorrowful ballads of their untold sufferings. In the pursuit of solace and eternal peace, the collective endeavors strove to untether the bound spirits. The phantom figures, their grievances acknowledged and their fates lamented, gradually melded into the shadows, their haunting presence retreating into the eternal silence. In the aftermath of these otherworldly interventions, a fragile piece cloaked Blakemore subway. The haunting murmurs subsided, and the spectral forms relented, allowing a semblance of serenity to prevail within the haunted corridors. The forgotten descent serves as a lingering echo within the annals of paranormal phenomena, narrating the haunting requiems of the unseen and the unremembered. The Relentless Odyssey by Dr. Hughes and the vivid recollections of the night workers have resurrected the forgotten whispers into the realm of remembrance. Blakemore subway continues to reverberate with the unseen whispers, the shadows whispering their untold stories, serving as haunting reminders of the invisible tapestries woven into the very foundations of our existence. Story number 9. In the darkness beneath the metropolitan sprawl of Boston, the tunnels of Ashton Underground have been the hallowed grounds of inexplicable supernatural occurrences during the summer of 2020. The dreadful symphony experienced by the vigilant night shift subway workers is meticulously chronicled, intertwined with scrupulous investigations, corroborated facts, and exploration of the entangled past encased within the subterranean labyrinth. The haunting saga commenced on July 3, 2020, with Emily Carter, a stalwart subway worker, recounting encounters with ethereal figures bathed in eternal shadows, their whispers emanating waves of untold misery and everlasting torment, enshrouding the subway in an ominous ambience. Emily's unearthly experiences marked the inception of a myriad of spectral encounters that enveloped her colleagues. The crescendo of apparitional visions, disembodied screams, and chilling drafts instigated a constant battle with unseen tormentors, resonating within the tunnels of Ashton Underground. To unearth the shadowy secrets concealed within, renowned paranormal investigator Leonard Ruffin delved into the sinister past hidden beneath the subway. His excavations revealed a haunting truth: the subway was constructed atop the remnants of a dilapidated orphanage, renowned for its grim past and unaccounted disappearances during the early 1900s. The apex of spectral unrest occurred on July 17, 2020, a night eternally etched as the resonance of the forgotten. The workers were ensnared in a spectral vortex, the air laden with the cries and eternal sorrow of abandoned souls, their shadowy forms reliving their moments of despair and solitude. James Hathaway, a member of the night crew, depicted his chilling encounter with a spectral child, her eyes pools of eternal sorrow, narrating the tales of abandonment and unending darkness, imprinting James with a perpetual sense of loss and melancholy. Determined to unravel the layers of the spectral conundrum, Leonard Ruffin, accompanied by mediums and historians, embarked on spiritual sessions and archival research. The air pulsated with the echoes of the abandoned, their sorrowful symphonies revealing the concealed agony of their tormented existence. Through spiritual conciliations and acknowledgement of the hidden tragedies, the team sought to emancipate the confined spirits. The ether trembled as the shadows embraced liberation, their mournful whispers fading into the encompassing silence of eternity. The tranquility that ensued marked a cessation of the paranormal disturbances within Ashton Underground, with the phantasmal entities retreating into the shadows, granting an ephemeral serenity within the haunting grounds. The Veil of Shadows remains a haunting chronicle within the paranormal lore, whispering the untold sufferings of the invisible. Leonard Ruffin's relentless pursuit and the vivid narrations by the night shift workers have immortalized the shadowy inhabitants into the realms of eternal consciousness. The haunting whispers continue to intertwine with the silence of Ashton Underground, the unseen entities whispering their haunting symphonies, serving as spectral guardians of the eternal secrets interwoven within the veiled history. Story number 10. The labyrinthine expanse of the Ravenswood Line, entrenched beneath the vibrant veins of New York City, manifested as a cauldron of paranormal activities in the frosty embraces of December 2021. The nocturnal workers, guardians of the nightly silence, were besieged by phenomena beyond earthly comprehension. These haunting encounters have been meticulously chronicled, intertwined with extensive investigations, historical examinations, and revelations of the murky past hidden in the underground abyss. The first tendrils of the supernatural wove through the silence on December 4, 2021, when a seasoned subway worker, Robert McIntyre, encountered ethereal specters enveloped in silence, their whispers unveiling tales of unresolved agony and eternal solitude, casting an otherworldly pall over the subway's desolate chambers. Robert's otherworldly encounters were the prelude to a series of spectral confrontations that enveloped the nocturnal denizens of the subway. The air grew heavy with elusive shadows, untraceable murmurs, and unseen tendrils, echoing the ethereal despair within the shadowy corridors of Ravenswood Line. Aiming to penetrate the veils of hidden agony, eminent paranormal investigator, Dr. Clara Morrow, submerged herself in the enigmatic history interwoven with the subway. Her relentless journey uncovered the haunting revelations. The subway traversed the remnants of a notorious prison, a place of unspeakable torment and unrecorded atrocities during the 18th century. The zenith of paranormal tumult was witnessed on December 20, 2021, a night immortalized as the Whispering Shadows Symphony. The subway was engulfed in the silent screams of tormented spirits, their ethereal forms entwined in eternal struggle, revealing glimpses of their haunting solitude and unavenged torments. Peter Williams, one of the resilient subway workers, narrated his harrowing interaction with a chain-riddled specter, his unseen wounds echoing unuttered agony and relentless persecution, leaving Peter ensnared in the echoes of unrelenting despair. In her pursuit of liberation for these tormented spirits, Dr. Morrow, accompanied by a coterie of spiritual mediators and historians, embarked on a series of spiritual reconciliations and exhaustive research. The silent air was punctuated by the echoes of the tormented, their haunting laments unraveling the tapestries of their forgotten existences. With the dedication to unveiling the hidden truths and acknowledging the unspoken atrocities, the concerted efforts aimed to grant solace to the restless souls. The spectral echoes climaxed as the spirits embraced their long-sought release, their silent screams dissolving into the embrace of eternal tranquility. In the aftermath, a fleeting peace settled over the Ravenswood Line, the haunting echoes retreated into the shadows, and the unseen chains relinquished their grip on the spectral inhabitants. The abyssal echoes stands as a haunting testament in the annals of paranormal phenomena, echoing the silent screams of the forgotten. The relentless explorations by Dr. Morrow and the harrowing experiences of the subway workers have woven the spectral tales into the threads of eternal remembrance. Ravenswood Line continues to whisper the unseen tales, the spectral echoes intertwining with the eternal silence, serving as the eternal bearers of the untold stories and the hidden scars embedded within the foundations of our existence. Story number 11. The hidden sanctums of Meyerwood Metro, lying beneath the burgeoning city of San Francisco, bore witness to a sequence of supernatural anomalies in the autumn of 2022. The resilient night shift workers, the silent sentinels of the subway's nocturnal realms, became entangled with entities beyond human understanding. These terrifying experiences, corroborated with meticulous research, historical scrutiny, and investigations, paint a haunting tableau of the spectral entanglements whispering through the tunnels of Meyerwood. The initial encounter of the paranormal draped itself over Meyerwood Metro on October 2, 2022, when subway worker Paul Thornton stumbled upon ghostly apparitions whispering in the shadows, their mournful murmurs narrating stories of unfulfilled destinies and lingering regrets, echoing through the cavernous chambers. Paul's spectral rendezvous marked the dawn of an onslaught of ghostly manifestations that ensnared his fellow nocturnal workers. The whispering shadows, elusive figures, and unyielding cold spots began to unveil the hidden chapters of ethereal torment interwoven within the sinews of Meyerwood. In an attempt to decrypt the ghostly tapestries, esteemed paranormal researcher Dr. Regina Thompson delved deep into the intricate history shadowing the subway. Her investigations unveiled a grim past, The subway tunnels intersect the grounds of a demolished sanatorium renowned for its cruel treatments and unaccounted deaths during the late 1800s. The summit of these spectral occurrences erupted on October 15, 2022, a night engraved as the lamentations of the ephemeral. The subway became a sanctuary of whispering souls, the air saturated with their eternal regrets and haunting presence, resonating with the echoes of their unresolved destinies. Alice Stanley, one of the subway's valiant workers, recounted her disturbing encounter with a spectral woman cloaked in eternal anguish, her whispers recounting tales of unspeakable torment and endless longing, imprinting Alice with an eternal sense of haunting despair. Driven by a resolve to liberate the lingering spirits, Dr. Thompson, aligned with a coalition of empathic mediums and historical experts, initiated a series of ethereal dialogues and intense research sessions. The silence became the symphony of the unheard, their whispers unearthing the haunting reminiscences of their concealed existences. Striving to resolve the spirits' unresolved destinies and acknowledging their unseen sufferings, the collective endeavor began to dissipate the eternal shadows enveloping them. The whispering specters began their retreat into the eternal silence, their ephemeral presences dissolving into the unseen realms of peace. Following this ethereal liberation, a fragile serenity embraced Meyerwood Metro. The lamenting shadows withdrew, allowing the spiritual tranquility to settle within the unseen layers of the subway. Ephemeral Shadows continues to serve as a spectral symphony within paranormal archives, whispering the untold tales of the unseen. The relentless endeavors of Dr. Thompson and the heart-wrenching experiences of the subway workers have transcended the veil, granting a voice to the whispering shadows encased within our unseen realms. The whispering halls of Meyerwood Metro persist in echoing the unseen lamentations, the ephemeral shadows interweaving with the enduring silence, narrating the untold tales and unspoken sorrows concealed within our enigmatic existence. Story number 12. Beneath the pulsating heart of London, the labyrinthine passages of the Ironside tunnels have been an epicenter of spectral phenomena throughout the winter of 2023. The guardians of the night, the vigilant subway workers, were entwined with the unseen entities residing in the silence of the subterranean realms. These chilling encounters, meticulously documented and intertwined with extensive historical research and thorough investigations, unveil a haunting narrative of the invisible dwellers of Ironside. The first tendrils of paranormal presence unfurled in the silent air on January 8, 2023, when seasoned subway worker, Walter Simmons, found himself amidst translucent figures enveloped in lingering sadness, their voices a symphony of silent suffering, permeating through the forsaken chambers of the subway. Walter's spectral meetings ignited a series of enigmatic occurrences that enveloped the nocturnal denizens of Ironside. Ephemeral visions, melancholic whispers, and eternal chills began to narrate the untold agonies encased within the stone arteries of the tunnels. To decipher the spectral labyrinth, celebrated paranormal scholar Dr. Olivia Ward immersed herself in the veiled past shadowing the tunnels. Her journey uncovered the tunnel's tragic legacy. Ironside was built atop a mass grave from the Great Plague, a burial ground for countless souls perished in untold agony during 1665. The crescendo of spectral whispers reached its zenith on January 22, 2023, immortalized as the Night of Silent Suffering. The subway transformed into a sanctuary of forlorn spirits, the ethereal air laden with their silent sorrows and eternal regrets, whispering the untold tales of their unending purgatory. Eleanor Chapman, a dedicated member of the night crew, recounted her poignant interaction with a plague-ridden apparition, his silent screams narrating the torment and relentless suffering, embedding Eleanor with a perpetual echo of unrelenting sorrow. Motivated by a pursuit of liberation for the restless entities, Dr. Ward, aided by a team of empathic mediums and historians, initiated sessions of ethereal communion and rigorous explorations. The haunting silence reverberated with the whispers of the long-forgotten, their spectral voices unveiling the concealed chapters of their eternal torment. Through the acknowledgments of their untold sufferings and a quest for resolution, the team aspired to grant peace to the haunting entities. The spectral symphony culminated as the silent souls embraced their newfound solace, their lingering presence fading into the realms of eternal silence. In the aftermath, a serene tranquility enveloped the Ironside tunnels. The forlorn whispers retreated into the shadows, and a spectral calm resided within the haunted passages. The silent requiem serves as a haunting remembrance within the annals of paranormal encounters, resonating with the silent echoes of the forsaken. The unwavering explorations of Dr. Ward and the somber experiences of the subway workers have transcribed the spectral echoes into the eternal chronicles of our collective memory. The enigmatic passages of the Ironside tunnels continue to resonate with the silent requiem, the spectral echoes intertwining with the eternal silence, chronicling the untold tales and lingering regrets eternally etched within the silent symphony of our shared history. Story number 13. Beneath the bustling tapestry of Boston, the hidden passages of Eldridge Line serve as the spectral sanctum, echoing with phantom whispers that reverberated through the corridors in the spring of 2023. The enigmatic nocturnal workers, the solitary protectors of the underground silence, found themselves amidst encounters with beings from the unseen realms. These unnerving rendezvous, meticulously documented and interlaced with profound investigations and historical delvings, unfold a haunting symphony of the unliving whisperers entwined within Eldridge. The spectral whispers unveiled their presence on March 3, 2023, when veteran subway worker Gary Foster crossed paths with translucent entities, their whispers a harmonic embodiment of untold anguish and lingering solitudes, permeating the subterranean world. Gary's brush with the unseen marked the inception of a sequence of paranormal whispers that intertwined with the lives of the other subway workers. The phantasmal entities, unseen murmurs, and lingering cold manifested as the narrators of unresolved destinies and perpetual regrets veiled within the stone heart of Eldridge. To unravel the spectral whispers, renowned paranormal investigator Dr. Frederick Hale plunged into the intricate tapestry of the hidden past shadowing Eldridge. His exploration revealed a haunting connection. The subway network lay above the remnants of a colonial battlefield, a final resting place for soldiers who met their end in unspoken suffering during the late 1600s. The Symphony of Phantom Whispers reached its apogee on March 17, 2023, etched in eternity as the Echoing Sonata. The subway became a domain for the restless soldiers, the echoing air saturated with their unfinished stories and haunting laments, reverberating with the echoes of their eternal combat. Linda Moretti, another guardian of the night, recounted her moving interaction with a young spectral soldier, his unspoken pain narrating tales of love lost and unfulfilled promises, leaving Linda submerged in the echoes of unending sorrow. Inspired by a resolve to bestow peace upon the restless phantoms, Dr. Hale, in alliance with a group of spiritual communicators and historians, embarked on spiritual dialogues and exhaustive research. The haunting silence became the canvas for the whispers of the forgotten, their phantom voices painting a haunting portrait of their untold narratives. With the acknowledgement of their unseen sufferings and an unwavering dedication to unraveling their unfinished tales, the collective endeavor aspired to facilitate the spectral resolution. The haunting sonata concluded as the phantoms found their long-awaited tranquility, their lingering whispers dissolving into the symphony of eternal peace. In the subsequent tranquility, a delicate peace whispered through the passages of Eldridge Line. The haunting echoes found their resolution, and a spectral calm enveloped the haunted corridors. Phantom Whispers stands as a haunting echo in the realms of paranormal phenomena, whispering the tales of the unseen soldiers. The relentless journey of Dr. Hale and the poignant experiences of the night workers have etched the spectral whispers into the eternal annals of our collective conscience. The haunting corridors of the Eldridge Line continue to echo with the phantom whispers, the unseen murmurs intertwining with the everlasting silence, whispering the untold stories and unfulfilled destinies forever woven into the haunting sonata of our shared existence.